Hello everyone, happy Thursday and welcome to day 3 of my Countdown to Saleabration 2022 series. Now today I am shifting my focus a little bit from stamp sets to some of the awesome DSP that is offered as part of Saleabration this year. Now I don't know about you, but I'm always ready for spring right after Christmas. Like to me, once Christmas is done, the snow can all melt, the sun can shine, and the birds can sing. I'm done with winter. Sadly, here in Southern Ontario, we have at least 3 more months of winter weather ahead of us. So I need to find my sunshine and warmth wherever possible. So today's paper is one that will really have you feeling springy. I'm talking about the Daffodil Afternoon Designer Series paper. Now this paper is absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous imagery, fantastic color palette, little bit unexpected. I'll show you that in a minute, and just so many possibilities. Oh, hi Deb, thanks for joining me. Yeah, I know it's frigid out there. I hate to say this, but just keep it there, okay? I don't want it. I hate being cold. In fact, I'm a little chilly right now. My craft room's a little on the cool side, and I forgot to turn on my space heater, so we'll just have to channel some springtime warmth from our projects today. So I'm going to show you the Designer Series paper. It always helps to see it sort of in big live in person rather than in the catalog, the little tiny photo that's in the catalog. So I'm going to show you some full-size sheets of the DSP so you can get a feel for it. And then we're going to make one fun fold project, and I'm going to show you some more samples that I've made. Okay, now let me just pull my video up on my iPad here, get it going. Come on. Refresh. Why are we not refreshing? Let's see. Let's go this way. My video's not popping up for me. It usually does. Let's try going this way. Well, you guys can obviously see me. For whatever reason, it's not coming up on my iPad. Let's just try this. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, let's see who's here. Okay, we got Deb and Flo. Hello, Flo. Hi, Krista, Louise, Gail, Rosemary. Thanks for joining me today. All right, I'm going to flip the camera and we're going to get right to it, okay? So give me a sec. And we'll do our flippy thing. There I am on my iPad. It always makes me laugh when I see myself. All right, let's get this. I'll get the lamp out of the way here. And I'll slide this over so you can see this a little better. There we go. All right. Hi, Bonnie. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Jill. The gang's all here. All right, so Saleabration starts on Tuesday of next week, January 4th. And here in Canada, you get to choose a free Saleabration item for every $60 that you spend. Now, we also have some level 2 items that require a $120 purchase, and I've been using one of them all week long. That's one of the sentiment stamp sets. I'll show that to you in a few minutes. But this is like the best promotion because who doesn't like free, right? Free is the best. So let me show you this beautiful paper. It is absolutely stunning. So here is that upside down? Yes, it is. There we go. So look at that dramatic color palette. So there's one. Love this bright bumblebee yellow. There's our third sheet. I'll flip these over in a minute for you. This one actually reminds me of almost like a jungle or tropical scene. Love this. I love it when Stampin' Up! Does this because it basically is your card front done for you. I posted a sample earlier today with that, and we're actually going to use this paper on the project that we're going to make in a minute. And then there is number 3. Now let's flip it over. And again, just like they usually do, Stampin' Up! Has given us some more neutral patterns on the back. So we've got a grid, we've got a diagonal stripe, we've got these cute little hearts. This is a pale papaya polka dots, black crosses, and another bumblebee sort of mosaic pattern. So many awesome choices with this paper, and you're going to see lots of samples in a few minutes. But for now, I'm going to show you how to make this cute little fun fold. Okay, so this is the project that we are going to make. It is sometimes called a bridge card or a spanner card. So it opens up like this, and then it opens up like this. So it's just kind of a fun little variation on a horizontal or landscape card. So I'm going to show you how to make it. It's really, really easy. So if you are newer to card making and you're just kind of getting your feet wet and you're not too sure about trying fun folds, this is a good one to start with because it really is super easy. All right, so to start, I have a piece of basic black cardstock. I'm just going to move that over again so that you can see a little bit better. It seems dim for some reason. This is as bright as it can get. There we go. That's better. All right. So basic black cardstock. It is 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So it's a standard card base. Okay. Then to create our flaps for our spanner, I'm going to put my cardstock with the 5.5 inch side of the top. I'm going to insert it and line up the left edge at 1 1/4, not 1.5, 1 1/4. And I'm going to cut from the top down to my score line. Now it's probably going to be hard to see the score line on the camera, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. So I'm going to come down just as far as that score line at 4 1/4 inches. Okay, then I'm going to slide across. Now my trimmer, our Stampin' Up! Trimmer, has a ruler on the right side. So using the right side ruler, I'm going to line up the right side of my panel with 1 1/4 mark on the right side ruler. Just make sure that's in the right spot. And again, I'm going to come down from the top down to that 4 1/4 inch mark. Okay, and that's all there is to it. Like, it's that easy. So 2 extra cuts is all that is required for this easy fun fold. All right, so let's fold now along our score line. Now you just want to make sure when you're folding this that all of your edges line up. Okay, so just want to get it nice and straight. And again, this one, our center one, and then finally this one. So I just find it easiest to kind of take my time and make sure all of my edges line up so I get a nice straight card. When you have these narrow little flaps, it can be easy to get things a little bit crooked. Okay, so that's our card base. Super simple. Now, to add our spanner piece, I have a piece here of basic black cardstock. It is 5.5 by 1 1/4. So it's the same width as these little flaps here, okay? But it is actually going to get glued on across the back of our, what am I doing? Goes this way. I had to think about that for a sec. It's going to get glued on like this. We're not going to glue it just yet. We're going to put our DSP on first, and that will help us to get this oriented where we need it. All right, so let me dump out the rest of my bits here. So I have 4 strips of the Daffodil Afternoon DSP. These are each cut to 1 by 4 inches, okay? It's that sort of mosaic bumblebee pattern. The backside has that gorgeous dramatic, that would be really pretty too. Oh, that's nice. What's on the back of this? Now, see, I don't like that. If I had yellow in the middle, that would be great. All right, we're going to stick with the original design. I'm not going to change it on the fly on you. So we're going to glue 2 of these strips to our panels on the front, our little flaps here. So, and I like to do this with the card open. I find it easier to get things lined up. So we're going to glue 1 there. Okay, now before I glue this next one on here, I'm actually going to glue my center panel on. I find it easiest to work my way across, and that is so that I get my edges of my DSP lined up as I go. Okay, so this piece is 2.5 by 4 inches. Okay, so it's going to go on our center panel. So again, we're just going to take our time, line that up, make sure our edges are even. Okay, and then our last strip is going to go at the top here. And again, we just want to watch and make sure that we're lining the edges up so that it looks like it's nice and straight all the way across. Okay, see how that works? Easy peasy, right? Okay, now this guy is going to go across here, and I'm going to put it on so that the bottom edge, I'm just going to open this up for a minute, the bottom edge of my black strip is 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to line up my card base here, and just notice this is not very straight. Let's fix that. There we go. That's better. So we're going to line up the bottom edge of our spanner piece with the 1/4 inch mark. So it's going 1 square up from the bottom. Okay. And now when we apply glue, we're only going to apply glue to the ends so that when we close our little flaps, it just adheres to the flaps. Okay. So I'm going to do 1, just make sure that's nice and straight. And then 2. Again, nice and straight and tidy. Okay, so that creates my little span or my bridge. All right, easy peasy. Now on the inside, with this flap closed, we're going to add our last 2 strips of DSP. So again, we'll just add a little bit of adhesive. And again, I'm looking to make sure that my edges are lined up so it's a nice clean look. Okay. All right. Oh, you like this fold, Louise? Yeah, I like it too. It's an easy, you know, gentle way to start trying fun folds for those who are maybe a little bit nervous about doing them. But it's just kind of a fun, unexpected take on a landscape card. All right, next we have a piece of vanilla cardstock. That is going to go on the inside. Okay, so that's going to be what we see when we open the second flap. Okay, we're going to stamp on it first. Now this is the same dimensions as the DSP, so it was 2.5 by 4. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Now I promised I would show you this set. So this is the set that I referred to earlier that is a level 2 Saleabration item. So this is a 21 stamp sentiment set. It has a sentiment for just about everything. It's awesome. I'm using it a ton. And it is free with a $120 order. So you're definitely going to want to have this on your wish list. It is sort of your go-to sentiment set. So I am going to stamp I Think You're Wonderful on my vanilla panel that's going to go on the inside of my card. And I'm going to try to get this straight. I'm going to move it down. Sorry if I'm out of your view range. I will show you in a sec what it looks like. But it's very hard to stamp straight when you can't see what you're doing. All right, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue here. And this is going to get centered between our DSP strips. And again, we're just looking at those top and bottom edges, making sure we have an equal border on both sides. And that is going to cover when we close it. Okay. All right. For the sentiment for the front, we have another little piece of vanilla cardstock. This is 1 inch by 2.5. So same width as our DSP. It's going to glue. So we have, again, our edges line up here. Okay, so it looks nice and clean. And it also has an equal border on the ends. Okay, so that was 2.5 by 1. I'll put all of the measurements in the video description afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to bring back my black ink. And this time I'm using another sentiment from the Special Moment set. This one here. Thanks for brightening up my day. I love that sentiment because you could use it for pretty much anything. It's just kind of a happy little card to send. So let's stamp that. I'm stamping it in the black again. Centered on my little strip. And then I'm going to bring in, except I forgot to mount it. Let's grab it here. This is the coordinating stamp set with this DSP. I'm going to be featuring this in my live launch party video next Tuesday, prime time at 7 p.m. You're going to want to set a reminder for that one. But this stamp set is the one that coordinates with the DSP. So I'm using this spatter stamp because you know me and spatters. They are the bomb. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of Bumblebee ink and just ink up my spatter stamp and just add a little hint of spatter to my sentiment stamp. Okay, you know I don't like naked sentiments. So there we go. That just adds a little something something. And then I have some daffodils that I fussy cut from this same sheet of DSP. So I just cut out a couple of daffodils to add behind my sentiment strip, just to add a little something extra. Okay, so what we're going to do is sort of place this where we're going to want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue my flowers on, and then this is going to get popped up. but we're just going to have it sitting there for a minute just for placement. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Get that back on where we want it. So we're going to tuck one of these in behind here, just like that. And this little guy is going to go in over here, just like that. Okay, now that those are glued on, we're going to add a couple of dimensionals. Oh, you know what? I've got a little strip on the edge of my mini dimensionals here. We may as well use those up, right? So we'll get rid of that. And then this again is going to get centered. I'm looking at the edge of my DSP here. And then I also want to make sure I have an equal border top and bottom, and hopefully that's straight. Again, hard to tell when I'm not looking straight at it. That's not bad. All right, so there is my sentiment. And then we're going to add just a little bit of an embellishment using a new embellishment coming in the mini catalog. These are called the brushed brass butterflies. Now try and say that 10 times fast. I don't know whose idea it was to call them this, but I will not be calling them that for very often. It'll just be brass butterflies. The brushed can just be assumed, because getting all of those burrs in there is a bit of a challenge. So these cute little butterflies, they are metal and they sort of have a brushed finish. They work with gold and brass. It doesn't really matter. They come in two sizes. We have a large and a small. So I'm just going to add a couple to my card, just like that. Some little butterflies fluttering around. Okay, and there's our fin. I don't know why I included an extra sheet, but there we go. There is our finished card. So super easy fun fold. Give it a try. And you could do this with pretty much every pattern in this pack. It would be really pretty. So now let me show you, before you go, let me show you a few more samples using this paper. So here's one that I posted earlier, same DSP. Okay, totally different look when you don't have the yellow and the black, right? Really softens it when you have a vanilla background. Here's another one. This one really showcases the sort of neutral sides of the DSP. And then of course I added a couple of fussy cut daffodils. So there's another one. Here's some more fussy cut flowers. So this piece I actually tore just to kind of give a little bit of a sort of rough edge, and then fussy cut some flowers. You probably can't see it on the camera, but there's lots of Wink of Stella spatter on there, so it's nice and sparkly. And then this one, sometimes when you have really, really busy DSP, it takes away from your focal image. So I had actually designed this without the vellum layer originally, but I was kind of losing all of my detail. So this is just another little design tip. If you have DSP that's really bold and it's sort of sucking everything else into it, add a layer of vellum over top, and it just sort of mutes the DSP a little bit to allow your other elements to shine. Okay, so there is that one. And then finally, a super simple one. Like it doesn't get any more simple than this. 2 different patterns of DSP, some gold foil, and a sentiment. Like really. And again, lots of Wink of Stella spatter. You probably can't see it, but it's got some awesome shimmer. All right, so there are some ideas with this fantastic designer series paper. It's one you're going to want to have on your wish list for Saleabration, and be sure to check it out. If you haven't yet received your Saleabration brochure or your mini catalog from me, and you're waiting patiently or maybe impatiently, the news is that they were mailed from Utah on December 14th. So they may be a while. So if you are local to Cambridge and you don't want to wait, feel free to shoot me a DM, and I would be happy to put some out for you on my porch, and you can just grab them at your convenience. Okay? All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, for day 4 of our countdown. And I hope you have a great evening. My husband and I are off to IKEA tonight. I have some cool happenings in my studio over the next few weeks. I'll tell you more about that later. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.